Gary, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's great having you. So welcome to Let's Grow Pulling. If anybody has any questions, they're coming to Crossville. They've been to Crossville. I talked to some pullers last week in Woodbury, Gary, that are heading your way this weekend. I'll be coming down Friday. I'm looking forward to it. So did I explain the history of the pull? Or do you want to start over? What did I miss?
Yeah, you did. So September of 20, I lost my son, Scott, in an ATV accident. He was big into the FFA here in Cumberland County in Tennessee. And so after he passed, we wanted to do something to give back to the other students there in the FFA. And Scott's senior year, he got actually about his junior year, he got a big growth spurt and he outgrew his FFA jacket. So we tried to get him to buy a new one, and he said, no, it's a waste of money. I've only got one more year. So we tried to buy it for him. He said, no, it's still a waste of money. He said, I'll just borrow one. So he had another friend there that had a jacket that would fit him, and he got that jacket. He wore it, for the year. So he won multiple awards his senior year, and every picture I have of him is in his jacket says Dylan Wood instead of Scott Winningham on it. So after we got to talking about this, we decided to start a memorial fund. And one of the things that we wanted to do was take that money, and any kid that could not afford a jacket or they just wouldn't buy it, we would be willing to buy that jacket for them or any of their FFA official dress. And then it kind of went from, the clothes deal to we sent some kids to camp, that could not afford to go, or their parents, just couldn't do it. So we paid for some kids to go to camps, and now we're trying to raise as much money as we can, to do all of the above, to buy clothes, and in the camps, maybe rent them a nice bus, to take to the national convention, something like that. So,
yeah.
So all the money we make off these pulls or any of the fundraiser, I can't call them a raffle, I guess a waffle we have, we just give the money back to the schools.
Is that Dylan's coat right there?
That is Dylan's coat. And Scott definitely did not take after me on the height or the size. He wound up being about 6'4" and 330 pounds, or 275, I guess, just by the time he passed. But I'm low to the ground. I'm kind of like a running back, just not big enough to be one. So
built for speed.
Made a picking maybe.
That truck. What class do you pull in, Gary?
6200 Pro Stock.
Okay.
Some of us refer to it as the Pro 4 class. So running down at Mid-South. Currently, we're running Middle Tennessee pullers, and that'll be our sanctioning body, for the Scott Winningham Pull. We pull some KTPA from time to time. So.
And in Crossville, in relation, to how would I geographically explain it to fans maybe that are looking to head that way this weekend?
So we're nearly in the middle of the state. We're 75, 80 miles from Knoxville, about 80 miles from Chattanooga, and about 100 from Nashville.
Awesome.
So we're geographically right toward the middle of the state. They may put us a little on the eastern side of the middle.
Okay. And in Middle Tennessee,
I-40 runs right to the exit to get off to come to the pool.
Perfect. Is Middle Tennessee, is this a points hook for him, Gary?
Yeah, it'll be our last 2 points pulls for Middle Tennessee this year. And
okay.
We've got some good points battles going on right now too.
So on your flyer, and I have it behind us, but we want to make you bigger. But we got single engine modified tractors, light pro stock 2-wheel drives, light limited super stock tractors, pro stock 4-wheel drive trucks. That's the class that's behind you. That's the truck that's behind you, right? Pro stock.
That is.
Okay. Super stock 4-wheel drive, super modified 2-wheel drive, pro modified 4-wheel drive, super stock 2-wheel drive, plus some local classes. So this time of year is kind of fun to be a promoter, because a lot of times you can maybe get some bigger names, maybe some national pullers to come to an event like yours because their points race is done. Do you have any big heavy hitters like that sneaking down that you know of?
We do. Tommy Corsa, I think he's going to try to come, which he won the NTPA points this year.
Yep, Grand National
and we're working on Steve Clem pretty hard. Steve's been here, pulled with us quite a bit in the past down here. He come last year, brought his super modified truck and his pro mod truck down last year. The Galen Young stable, you got Just in Time with Justin Grace. You got Renegade with Graham Young. They got I think One More Time, the new truck they brought out this year.
Yeah, they have 3 of them, right?
They got the 3 trucks. They're all coming. we got our super modified 2-wheel drives. I think we got Rigsby out of the Mid-South. He's coming. I hope we can get the Fosters up here. You know, we had to pull last weekend. Hope they're coming. Tim Beatty, which is Sawmill Express, and Lumberjack. He just recently had back surgery, so he's not going to be here this year. And he called me, and I thought he's going to tear up on me, telling me that he wasn't going to be able to make it because he loves to come, you know, these local pulls to see the people that he grew up pulling around.
Is it going to be at your fairgrounds, or is it a facility that you built for pulling, Gary?
It is at our fairgrounds. We have one of the nicest facilities that anybody go pull at. We got nice grandstands, and we got parking galore. You know, we can get semis in and out very easily. Our arena, we brought in some new red clay last year. We hadn't changed the dirt in the pulling track in several years. So we have some new dirt brought in last year. We've got it all dressed up. We prepared about a month ago. We started working on the track to get the drainage out. So if we did get a good downpour, that it would not, you know, ruin the pull. And so far it's worked very well. And the forecast looks perfect for this weekend.
That was going to be my next question. Well, how long have you been watching the weather, Gary?
I think they let me look up to 15 days out. So I started looking on day 16 and then they started talking about hurricanes, and I thought, here's going to be another blow. You know, we got rained out. The last 2 springs we have been rained out, and with torrential rains, and was able to have it last October, and we had 75 and sunny both days. Same forecast for this weekend. You know, like a 5% chance of rain. So looking good.
Good deal, Randy or Logan. Think of a question here for Gary. Again, if you're just joining us, Gary Winningham, he puts on a memorial pull for his son. Who passed away in an ATV accident. You said 2020, was that the year, Gary?
Yeah, September 2020.
Did Scott like to go pulling with you?
Back in the day, yeah. I started out pulling what we call the 5,500-pound super stock trucks, 4-wheel drives. And I pulled that for several years and decided, you know, that I needed to quit. It was bankrupting me pretty hard. So we got out. Then I swore I'd never pull again. And then after Scott passed, you know, I wound up building me a new garage. And so I told my wife, I said, well, I've got a garage now. We got plenty of room to work in. I said, I'm going to start pulling again. So I got that look from her. Then she said, well, what are you going to use for a body? And I said, I'm going to put a body on that looks just like the truck that Scott drove to high school that I fixed for him. And she said, what are you going to name it? I said, I'm going to name it after him. We're going to call it Farmer Strong. So that was a nickname that kind of that he got when he's in the hospital before he did pass. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is tough talking about it, but we want to promote and get the word out, stuff like that. So, Randy, if I go early, I want to have every diesel super stock tractor in the country at my Richland Center at my fairgrounds, and I want Def Leppard to play the national anthem. Okay, Randy?
Got it.
Well, I just want to. I want to put that out there on record. Yeah. So it's all good.
So, Gary, this pull, after your son passed here, is that when you started putting it on, or what's kind of the history behind the pull?
Yeah. Well, we started it in 24. We started, or actually 23. We started talking about it in fall of 23. Good friend of mine, Andrew Powell, he pulls the Midnight Oil truck. They'll be pulling in my class as well. Andrew called me up and said, let's do a fundraiser and let's do a benefit pull. And kind of thought it over, and I said, yeah, let's try that, you know, see what we come up with. And we put some feelers out there, started calling some of the guys that we know, and everybody was on board. And so we scheduled it up, went through all the motions, and, you know, of course, we get rained out, so everybody's, you know, kind of disheartened. But when fall came back around, everybody was still in the mood. We had, I think, 94 hooks last year at the pull, so we had a good turnout. And I expect the same or maybe even bigger this year. So.
Wow.
That's exciting. 94. How many classes?
We had 11.
That's exciting. That's a great turnout. And you're doing it for a great cause, helping those kids. That's for sure. So this is your second year, Gary, or your third year?
This will be the second year of having the pull. So,
good.
We'd like to make this thing big. We'd like to be bigger than Chapel Hill. I want to be the Tennessee pull that everybody wants to come to.
Those are big shoes, Gary. Those are
Those
big
are.
shoes.
Yeah.
Well,
I will
I'll
tell
stuff
you,
into my shoes with cardboard if I need to, but I'll put them on. So
I will tell you flat out, I do enjoy Tennessee way more in September, October than I do in July. But Chapel Hill is one of my favorite pulls to go to in the whole world. But man, holy hot. Sweat easy. Fat guys sweat easy, Gary. So.
Yeah, I think when we were down there in Ardmore, I think it was about the temperature of the surface of the sun that day. So
yeah, this summer was I think warmer than normal, or I don't know if I'm just getting older, or maybe I'm getting weaker. But man, it was warm this summer, Gary. So
yeah, this 75-degree forecast. I mean, that's going to be perfect. You know, we're 75 during the day, down in the mid 50s of the evening. So the tractors ought to run good. You know, being a little cooler like that, and
yep.
And the fans should have a good time out there.
What does it cost to get in, Gary?
It's $10 admission. Kids 11 and under are free.
Okay, nice. Who are some of maybe some local companies or sponsors that are helping putting it on?
The company I work for is one of them. We got Holston Gases. You know, we're a welding supplier, a gas distributor, one of the largest independents in the country. Jason Lewis, Chrysler Plymouth Dodge. He stepped up to be our title sponsor this year. I got another good friend out of Birchtown, Tennessee, Denton Lowe. He owns a company called 4L HDD. They do horizontal drilling for fiber optic lines, things like that. He was a major sponsor for us. All the tractor dealerships in town have stepped up big. They've all promised us any kind of equipment that we need. They'll start delivering me equipment on Wednesday, you know, to start the track prep. So
nice. Got a few minutes left here, Gary. What's the most stressful thing about putting on a truck and tractor pull? Because not everybody's done this. Randy's done it. Logan, I don't know if you've been involved promoting. Kenzie hangs out with us all the time, but it's not easy. What causes you anxiety not to be able to sleep at night, Gary?
If I started out with some college rule paper with the most lines on it, and I split it up into about 4 columns and filled every line of it up, we could start there. You know, just the logistics of it, you know, trying to get the date scheduled, you know, then you start, asking for the sponsorships, making sure, you get the date at the fairground, making sure you can get a sled. That's the big thing down here. You know, there's so many pulls anymore that it's hard to get a sled. We're going to be using Southern Express. You know, Bo Simpson out of Tompkinsville, Kentucky will be providing the sled. He's always great operator, got good equipment. But the weather is probably the worst thing that we have to deal with. So
yep, and it's the one thing you can't control.
No control over that. Now, our state representative Cameron Sexton, he's actually Speaker of the House now. I think he felt our problems here, and they have put together a $5 million package they're going to give to our fairgrounds for us to cover our arena with. So hopefully next year, I hope they get the construction done before we schedule the pull for next year. But if not, the year after, we should be under roof. And if it rains, let it rain. We'll be covered.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Like all the football stadiums are getting lids now. Now all the pulling tracks are too. So
yeah, we're not being closed on the sides, but if we got a roof over us, we're dry enough, we can go.
One question I always like to ask a puller, if obviously you're a pro 4x4 puller, what other classes do you come from the trailer to watch on the track? Or if you could jump in somebody else's vehicle, what would you want to drive?
The Pro Mod 4-wheel drives.
There you go.
Any
particular one?
I'd like to drive the Holman brothers one time.
Yeah, Randy sees them a lot in the summer. So
yeah,
yep.
And I know Justin Grace is going to kick me for this, because me and Justin, we usually talk on a weekly basis. So he'll be saying, "Why don't you want to drive my truck?" But the 4Play, it's got the history out there. I'd love to make one pass in that truck.
That'd be pretty neat. I'm just going to ask it. Do you cry at this event?
During the drivers' meeting.
Okay.
And, I'll start out pretty strong, think that I can hold it together, and I'll get about one sentence in and I lose it. So I usually turn it over to someone else to take over for me. So.
No, I get it. I can't imagine. I tractor pull because of my dad. I mean, it's kept us, when my parents got divorced, it kept us best friends. I mean, still to this day.
Yeah.
And I drove his tractor back in the day, and now he drives mine. And, we don't talk as much as we used to, but every question is, how's the tractor? What did we break at Sandwich? And I'm like, hey, I go, how are your beans today? Let's put 4 turbos on it next year and stuff like that. So, but beans aren't that good, Gary, so there won't be 4 turbos on it next year. Well, the beans are actually pretty good. It's the prices that suck. So, but that's okay.
True.
That is okay. Again, is there any special foods, Gary, and any special food vendors? Like if I'm coming for the first time, which I am, what should I be most excited about?
We're going to have barbecue. I've got one of the best barbecue makers in Tennessee. He actually won best ribs in Memphis one time. John Teeples has Big John's Barbecue. He's going to be doing our barbecue for us. And we'll be serving that out of the concession stand, and all the money, 100% of that goes straight back to the FFA on that one.
Nice.
There will be some private individuals with some food trucks. We got a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. We got the hot dog trailer. We got, homemade ice cream and things like that there. We got a lemonade stand going to be set up. But become hungry for some Tennessee barbecue.
Nice. And before we let you go, you mentioned a couple of your sponsors and partners in it. Who are some friends and family, Gary, that really are by your side making this thing happen?
Well, my wife, for one, she's she's with me at every one of the fundraisers, and she'll be in the booth up there, helping register everyone. Andrew Powell, he's been a big help on this. Randy Miller, he's one of my pulling partners. Me and Randy will travel together quite a bit, to the pulls. There's so many out there that I got.
For hometown pulls, Gary, how many pullers like this is their hometown pull?
There's gonna be several of us. Myself, Randy Miller, and Andrew Powell we got the Pro Stock trucks here in Crossville. So there's 3 of us here. We got some of the hot rod tractor guys. Mason Steinman will be driving the Whistling Dixie hot rod tractor. I got a ton of guys coming to pull their stock and what we call the hot stocks. They could probably drive them on the road, but they just don't want to waste the fuel. They're little souped up stock trucks. There are probably 20 of them guys will be here. So.
Oh wow!
And everybody loves to watch the stock trucks. They'll stay till 2:00 in the morning and watch the stock trucks go. And sometimes they might walk away from us. If we were out there. So.
Fair enough. Randy, Logan, we got to let Gary go. Do you guys have any final words or thoughts or questions for him?
I don't got much. I hope that you guys have a great event out there. It's for an awesome cause, both for remembering your son and for all the FFA kids out there. FFA is a great organization, and it's truly special what you guys are doing down there. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and may you guys have great weather.
Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Logan said it all right there. Best of luck, and you're doing it for a great cause. And hey, good luck. And we'll let you go.
Well, see if you can tag along with Jason and you guys come on down here.
Yeah.
Might have to.
I'd love to come down there, but we're gonna start some farming, so we probably better stay home and get some work done here. So
put the mini rods in, and we might have to make a trip down there.
Yeah.
Now the Middle Tennessee does have a group of mini rods. They're not the blown mini rods, but we do have some.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met some of the Middle Tennessee pullers at Murfreesboro. I think they had a stand set up right across from our FullPull pick stand. So I think it was Murfreesboro. It's all kind of starting to blend together, Gary, this whole year. So it's all good.
Yeah, time you guys make your rounds, I say it does all just run into one big blur. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, thanks for coming on. I'll see you Friday, buddy.
Hey, I see you then. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary Winningham, everybody, puts on a benefit pull for his son.